Hi, friends. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Katie, and welcome to Okay, But Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today we're recapping and chatting about Once Upon a Time, episode 118, The Stable Boy. This episode aired on April 1st, 2012. It was written by the showrunners Eddie Kitsis and Adam Horowitz, and was directed by Dean White. So before we get into our chatting and usual chaos, and this is longer chaos, I would apologize, but I'm really not that sorry. Let's get into a synopsis for the episode. In the Enchanted Forest, what happened between Regina and Snow White? While on a midday rendezvous with her true love Daniel, a young Regina sees a girl fly by on a runaway horse. After chasing her down and helping the girl off her wild steed, she learns that the girl she saved was the king's daughter, Snow White. The king has been traveling through the lands looking for a new wife after his queen has passed away, and because of her interest in Snow, Leopold proposes to Regina, and her mother Cora accepts on her behalf. Distraught, Regina runs to Daniel, telling him that they need to run away if they'll ever be together. But as they make their plans, Snow finds them. She agrees that she'll keep Regina's secret safe, but in fear that she'll lose her mother, Snow tells Cora of Regina's plan, ending in Cora doing what she believes is best for Regina by killing Daniel so that Regina will become queen. And in Storybrooke, the case against Mary Margaret is about to begin, and Emma is still looking for any evidence to prove that Regina has been framing her the whole time. On August's advice to go back to the beginning to see if there's anything they'd missed, she finds a shovel shard that she's been able to place with a broken shovel in Regina's garage. When Emma goes to confirm the evidence, the broken shovel is missing, as Regina had a heads up about Emma's plan, and Emma blames August. Meanwhile, Regina feels like she's about to win and taunts her victory over a dumbfounded Mary Margaret. In defeat, Emma throws her new flower vase against a wall and finds the bug that Sidney had planted, proving he was Regina's inside ears the entire time. And just as Emma goes to apologize to August, they hear a scream coming from the alley behind Granny's, and find a woman on the ground. Catherine is alive. That was a synopsis, is all I was saying, is that I realized that was a novel.
That was I think the longest synopsis you've written.
I don't doubt it.
I don't think you regret it either.
No, I don't.
But my first note is just all caps. Oh my god, are we finally getting Regina's story?
We are. The opening flashback is a young Regina going through the field of her family estate on a horse. I do want to start this because this is something that is not apparent, given the fact
Okay.
that Lana is playing both current and past Regina. Regina in these flashbacks is 18, maybe 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always feel the need to kind of put this here. This used to be like headcanon, and it was confirmed with the novelization Regina Rising, which, to be fair, I still kind of don't consider canon, but it does, like, I call it canon-ish. There are some parts of it that I agree with and some parts that make no sense. But with that, Regina is 16, and she actually meets Snow in the book, which is why I barely consider it canon. Because she shouldn't know who she is.
Gotcha.
But she does mention that Snow is about 7 or 8, so Regina is at the oldest 19 in this one, because Snow White is 10 years old in The Stable Boy. So Regina's at the oldest 19, so despite the fact that throughout this entire episode, I always say Lana is acting her ass off. She is 34, 35 years old. Her character, not so much.
I actually wrote down, I was like, okay, Lana really does amazing things with her voice.
She
Because
does.
there's something about her voice where I really was like, oh yeah, this is a
Mm-hmm.
younger Regina. Like it completely sold me on it.
Yeah,
Um,
she sells it.
it almost like it made her look younger because she sounded so young.
Yeah, she does a lot with her voice, and I noticed this time around, she does a lot more physically. Like, she's not just like a lighter voice, but she's lighter on her feet. Her movements are maybe a little more awkward, like a teenager would be. She does a
Hmm.
good job with it.
She's amazing.
She is.
And then I just wrote, well, that's why it's called Stable Boy because I finally got to that part.
Yep, we have the meaning of the episode is Daniel the stable boy.
It's that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I was doing that. So yeah, this was an episode. There was a
this
lot.
this was an episode, yeah. I'm sorry if I've overhyped it, because I feel like I did, because this is, I have a personal affinity for this one just because it is, I mean, it's the first Regina backstory we're really getting. This was also my very first live episode, so there's just an extra affinity for it.
Oh yeah, I don't think you oversold it.
Okay.
I think I was just really happy to finally get Regina's story because the whole time
Mhm.
I've been like, what did Snow do to her?
Yeah.
Which only then had me end up writing multiple times, she's a child.
She is a child, and we admit this. There's a line from from an episode in season 4, where this isn't a spoiler. This is just context. They're under a spell where they're all at each other's throats, and Regina throws they're fighting, and Regina throws Mary Margaret against a wall, and she goes, "You said no magic," and Regina goes, "You said you could keep a secret," and then she gets up with her sword and yells, "I was 10," and then runs at her.
Oh, I can't wait for this. Thankfully, I will forget by time we get there because my
Yeah,
memory.
that's easily like end of 2024, beginning of 2025 for us.
Oh
So you will
yeah,
forget, but it's too that is one of my favorite lines. It's too funny.
I have the memory of a goldfish. I will forget.
There you go.
Um, I did write, just let the girl ride her horses.
Regina the horse girl. It works that Lana is also a horse girl because that is her on the horse. When you can see her face, she's actually riding the horse.
It was just so funny to me though, because when you sent me that video on Instagram, and I was like, Lana, put flat hand when you feed a horse, but she's a horse girl, and I'm like, Lana,
She is.
you know what to do.
It was a long carrot. I don't know.
I know. I am no better than a man. Okay.
No, you're not. We've already established that tonight.
And we probably will continue to do so.
Oh, probably.
And of course, I had many lines of like, oh boy, what is
Mhm.
Snow going to do? What is Snow going to do? And at one point, I had the random thought that I thought August was the murderer for a second. Don't know why, but I find him to be slightly creepy.
He is creepy. And Lana said in the commentary, he plays a good stranger.
Ooh, I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, I mean, that's what he's been before before we knew his name was August. He was just the stranger.
Yeah. I did write, well, we know where Regina got her manipulation skills from.
Ah, Cora.
I don't think anybody likes her mother.
How do I put this delicately?
Well, I know she made a deal because she said she made a deal to get them out of poverty, all that. So I'm like, all right, you went to Rumpelstiltskin.
There's a hint as to who she is in this episode. Multiple, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I hope I'm right.
She has something to do with Rumpelstiltskin. I will say that. She does have
Okay.
something to do with Rumpelstiltskin because she says, the deals that I made to get us this life. Cora is one of those people that, we don't condone her actions because, she makes the people that I love cry. But gods, if she's not entertaining.
She's extremely entertaining. At one point, I wrote in all caps, "Mother knows best."
I did a fan edit.
Oh no!
Long time ago. That is Cora, and it's still on YouTube as far as I know. I might have privated it, but it was on YouTube until recently. It's Cora and Regina scenes to the tune of "Mother Knows Best."
That makes me so happy because that's all I could think when she kept doing things, and I was like, "This is Mother Gothel."
Oh, it absolutely is.
Point blank.
Let me see if it's still on. Let me see if it's still on YouTube. It is still public, so people can find it. It is still public.
I love this for you.
Oh, thank you. It has a copyright flag, but that's because it has copyrighted music in it.
That's fair. I just have random little lines of like, I don't like the king, and I'm confused. Which king is supposed to be with Prince Charming? And then which king it's Leopold is Snow's father.
So, yes, this is Leopold.
Okay.
King George is Charming's father.
I got those mixed up, and I was like, hold on a second. What are we doing here?
I will say, you see King George a lot more than you see Leopold.
Okay, that's fair. They look very, my brain did not...
Yeah, as we've established, Leopold is only in 3 episodes.
Oh, yeah. That was a very short scene for him.
Yeah, he's not... For being a pertinent character to the fairy tale, he's not in a whole lot.
I did write that the curse wasn't enough with a question mark, because I'm just like, Regina is going to all these lengths, and I'm like, why are you still doing stuff? Why are you still trying to get your revenge? You cursed everybody!
Well, because the curse was the revenge, but the curse is waning, so now she's trying to find some other way. The curse is waning, Mary, Margaret, and David have, even though they're not together, they had found each other, but it wasn't enough because they're not separated anymore, so she's got to find some other way to destroy her.
He wasn't even that cute.
but he's her true love. It doesn't matter. I mean, hey, we
Okay,
do not
fair.
besmirch Josh Dallas in this household. Excuse you.
Wait, what?
Wait.
No, wrong one. I said stable boy.
Oh, you were talking about Daniel. Oh, Noah Bean. He's cute. He's cute. I'll give him that. I thought you meant charming. I'm like, what? We do not besmirch Josh Dallas in this household.
Wrong boy.
No, Noah Bean. Okay. Again, I'm a bad person for attractiveness. I think he's cute.
I just want to clarify the lesbian thinks that these people are cute. I love her.
I like what I like.
You do. You like what you like. I think Josh Dallas has grown on me.
Thank you.
I don't know how much Noah Bean will continue since he had his heart ripped out, but
you want to know? This is going to make no sense out of context. Noah Bean is in 2 episodes, and he dies in both of them.
What?
It makes no sense.
That makes no sense. Do we have zombie stable boy?
No comment.
Oh my god.
That's all I'm saying. He's in both episodes. He's in 2 episodes and he dies in both.
Oh my god.
Poor Daniel.
Like I said, I have a lot of notes, but a lot of them is just yelling at this episode the whole time of like, who the fuck is this? What the fuck are you doing? It's a child. And then at the end, in all caps, what the actual fuck?
This is the chaos that I was expecting of this.
Catherine's alive? Whose heart was that? How did the DNA results?
I don't think they ever they do tell us with the DNA results in the next episode. We'll get a reason for that.
Okay.
I don't think they ever tell us whose. I don't think they ever tell us whose heart it is, though, or where the heart was found.
That's a little disturbing.
Someone bribed someone at the hospital, I guess.
Okay. They have fun with that. Okay. All right. I know you've got a lot to tell me.
I have a lot of notes. So we're gonna break this up. We're gonna start with our fun facts about the guest stars, because guest stars galore is on here. A lot of the notes that I highlighted, truthfully, are just me screaming in all caps. I do also have 2 scenes from this episode memorized for whatever reason. I mean, not for whatever reason. I've done them for bad impression voiceovers, and they're on 2 completely different ends of the spectrum, which just makes it even funnier. And then we'll probably go through commentary notes, or I'll mention commentary notes alongside my other notes if it makes sense. And I don't think anyone is going to be left guessing what my score for this episode is.
No, I had no idea.
I don't think anyone can ever figure this out.
Oh,
so
no.
Our 2 guest stars. So I'll start with Barbara, because we've been gushing about Cora being delightfully creepy.
Yeah.
She's played by Barbara Hershey, who is a phenomenal actor. She has well over 100 credits over her very many decades worth of career. Yeah, she's done a lot. The things that most people would know her from, most likely, would be from Black Swan.
Oh, shit.
She's the mother from Black Swan. No, you're fine.
I just made the realization.
There you go.
I love Black Swan.
It's a great movie. She's in Hannah and Her Sisters. She's in the Insidious movies franchise. But I think her most notable work is the movie Beaches from the 1980s with Bette Midler.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Beaches?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I need to actually tell you, because this is just in context with other things. So it's a story about friendship, mostly over the decades. It's about 2 women that they meet as kids on vacation, and they become pen pals, and then as they get older, they come in and out of each other's lives, but it's about the strength of friendship. So it's a very good movie. I highly recommend it. It's Barbara, and Bette Midler plays the other one.
Okay.
It's got a great cast.
Can't go wrong with Bette Midler.
You really can't. She sings a lot in it. It's a good one. But actually, I don't know if this was confirmed or this was just her sense of it. In an interview, I think it was a GalaxyCon Q&A, Barbara said that she was fairly certain that she was just offered the role of Cora because of Black Swan.
Ooh.
Because it's also right timing.
Yeah. I loved her in Black Swan, so, like, she does seem to play a very good, crazy mom.
She's very good at that. And our young Snow, who I will gush about, because this child.
This child has done so much. She
at 24 has 57 credits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, She has almost half the credits of Barbara Hershey, who's been doing this for decades. So let's just put that out there.
I'm bad at names, but I recognized her immediately.
Yeah. This is Bailee Madison is her name. Some of notable works: she's in The Bridge to Terabithia. She was in The Fosters. She's on Good Witch. She was on Wizards of Waverly Place. Recently, she's in the Pretty Little Liars reboot as well.
Oh.
I say this child. She's now 24, but we'll say this child because she's 10 in this episode of Once Upon a Time. When she got cast, she was also offered the role because they'd seen a lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff at that age, she'd been in a lot of stuff by then. She'd actually been planning to take a break from acting, but she told like her management team, like, by the way, if Once Upon a Time ever calls, I'm available. And then they called with the offer for Young Snow, so here we are.
She did a wonderful job.
She did, and I have a lot of stuff about her act, like her process. But like, just flat out, this child is Ginnifer Goodwin in a time machine.
Oh.
Like, just, I firmly believe this.
I keep laughing because the last thing I watched her in is Steven had never seen Just Go With It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. And she plays this kid that like loves acting and is constantly trying to improv and do acting exercises, and it's the funniest thing ever because she does so well at it. So the entire time I'm watching this, I'm like, she's so sweet, but I've seen her act absolutely wild in other things.
So good.
She's so good.
But yeah, I firmly believe this child is Ginnifer Goodwin in a time machine because I've seen pictures that Jenny has posted on Instagram of like her at like 4 or 5 years old. If you compare those to Bailee in The Bridge to Terabithia, they are the same person.
Oh wow.
Like they look nearly identical. So just other than the eye color, which will weirdly enough come in later, they are the same person. Cora's just line of, "You're getting a little old for fun." Cora, she's 18. Like I understand I understand fantasy. She's like, oh, all the girls her age are married. That's the element we're going with here. But like, calm down just slightly. But one thing I really did like about Cora and her magic, which we see throughout, every other time she's on the show, but throughout this episode as well, with everyone else that are magic users, they're mostly doing these big motions. We've got Rumpelstiltskin with his hand gestures. We've got Regina kind of doing big things with the fireballs. And although, actually, have you seen a fireball yet?
I want to say yes.
Maybe. Oh yeah, in the second episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I have the brain of a squirrel.
It's fine. It's okay.
Oh wait, I said goldfish last time.
Squirrel, goldfish. Same. It gets the point across. We see a lot of big gestures, is my point. Cora's magic is so subtle. So she's got, like, I would say about the same amount of power, would we say, as the other ones, but she's so subtle with her movements where everyone else is doing these big gestures. All she has to do is kind of just like one small flick of her hand and Regina's up in the air and the belts are around her, and we don't condone these things. Like I said, we don't condone her actions. But what is really kind of ironic about Regina's character, and they mentioned this in the commentary, is, we see Regina kind of revel in the magic and all this. She didn't like magic originally because she associated it with her mother, which is just like, it's fun to see the stuff. It's fun to see the progression. And I think this episode is very well placed, as are these flashbacks. Apparently, according to the wiki, these flashbacks were initially meant to be in the second episode of the series.
Oh.
But I don't think that's a great place for it because I feel like it's more satisfying to kind of have people go throughout the series or go out the season wondering what could have possibly happened.
I mean, I can see that, but also I feel like I've been waiting forever.
But the thing is, like, would it be as satisfying, though, if you got it from the beginning, is my question. Like, you've been wanting to know forever. Does that make it more satisfying?
I see what you're saying.
That's how I feel about it, at least.
You also binged everything. I have not binged this.
I did. I binged the first 17 episodes, so I had a couple of days, shall we say.
This has been months of me watching this now. I'm only getting to watch once a week, and we taken 1 week off in that.
Yeah, maybe.
So
if that.
That's the longest I've gone. And I'm just so excited because we do only have like 4 episodes left of this of season 1. Look, you have no idea how happy I am to get to watch 2 episodes.
I know. Well, 1. The week we record that, though, so you're going to get to watch 2 episodes. I get to watch 3 technically, because I'm going to be watching them both once, and then I have to, not have to, I'm going to watch the finale again with commentary. I have a lot of prep work for that one.
Oh, like you're gonna complain.
Oh no,
You
poor me.
gets to watch the same thing again.
So sad. That one, the commentary is Eddie, Adam, and Jen.
Ooh.
I think. I'm fairly certain. I think just the two of, I think just Eddie and Adam did the pilot.
Okay.
So.
Because I'm really excited.
It's gonna be a good time.
The Return.
So we have The Return, The Stranger, and Apple Red as Blood, and The Land Without Magic. Those last 2 will be our finale special.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be great.
Look, it'd be nice just to be able to say I'm on season 2.
Well, I said, like, once we kind of got, I felt like once we got past, I think it was 7:15 a.m., I felt like we were kind of, like, we were in the show at that point. Like, the plot was moving a little bit more forward now. It wasn't so much expository and explaining, and we'll eventually, like, we'll feel even more into the show, I feel like, once we get to season 2, but especially, like, I feel like past episode 10 was a good point, like, kind of just past into the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, once we get into season 2, I think we'll kind of be more in it.
Yeah.
That makes any sense.
Everything's still so mysterious.
This is true. Stuff will continue to be mysterious, but different things will be mysterious.
I appreciate that.
I don't know if that made any sense. Kind of.
Nothing makes sense. I just go along with it.
This is true. Just stay along for the ride. That's all we ask.
It's a fun ride.
It's a good ride. I highlighted so many lines. Like, not even, like, ones from, like, because I love this. Okay, so when I said if I hear a new line, I don't know who I am anymore. I didn't hear a new line. I did see something new, though. Which is still bonkers for me. But just, for no particular reason, Lana's or Regina's line when her and Daniel are up on the hill right before snow comes through, it's because Lana pointed out that a little bit of Brooklyn came out of her in the line. It's when she says that she can't, like, she has to be back in time for tea. It's like, tea time. Lady never misses her tea time. I don't know why that tickles me so much. I just love it.
It's adorable.
It is adorable. It's the scene where Leopold proposes. Apparently, they were having a hard time filming that because they were filming it at like 3 a.m. and they all were delirious. And so apparently Lana and Barbara were just laughing the whole time, which is nice that they have that relationship. But this is why I insisted that you needed to know a little bit about the plot of Beaches.
Oh, okay.
Because Cora's line when she changes Regina's dress and or her riding outfit into the dress, and she goes, "The king is coming because you've finally done something right." Lana asked if they could have a Beaches moment, just one moment where, like, she's like her best friend, before everything just goes to hell. So that was Lana's Beaches moment. Was like they're good and they're friends, and then Leopold comes in and everything, you just see everything crumble before her eyes. But the line that just gets me so much is, "Regina, dear, the king's honored to meet you. Say something."
Don't just stand there.
Like, the king's honored to meet you. Say something. And then this is the thing that I saw that I've never noticed before. I'm okay with not noticing this. It's a very small detail that, like, because I'm watching the show with more of a fine tooth comb than I ever have before. And I wrote this in all caps. When Cora says yes to Leopold's proposal, she goes to take Regina's hand. She doesn't take her hand, though. What she takes is her left ring finger.
She, like, specifically grabs the finger?
She grabs one finger, and it is her left ring finger. Like, this woman. These small details. She's so good with them.
Mother knows best.
I do feel like we should have a chat about the scene with Regina and Snow after Snow finds her and Daniel.
Okay.
Just a quick one, just because it's a good scene. It's adorable. It's a moment where their relationship is so good.
Yeah.
And it can be interpreted in different ways. A lot of people kind of almost see Regina running after her as self-preservation, but Lana even said this in the commentary, that this is more of, she wanted to give her a gift. She wanted to show her what true love could be like, which is just fascinating that Snow really more so gets her concept of true love from Regina.
Wait, what? Oh.
So that the speech that she gives her.
It never made the connection of, like, that's where she gets her concept of true love from. It never made that connection in my mind.
And then they say in the commentary, so that's what I'm going with, because that really is, like, she gets that whole spiel of, Your father, King Leopold, he's a kind and fair man, but I don't love him. I don't understand. Why not? Love doesn't work that way. Love, true love, is magic. And not just any magic, the most powerful magic of all. It creates happiness. And that man in the stables, you love him with all my heart. Then you must marry him. I will go tell father right away. And she's like, no. She's like, runs, she grabs her again. She's like, you can't. It's like, why not? Surely he'll understand. Perhaps, but not everyone will. My mother, for one, she'll stand in the way. That's why you're running. It's the only way our love can survive. Snow, do you know what a secret is? If you really, truly want to help me, and what you saw, what I told you, you must keep it a secret. Can you do that? I think so. I need you to be certain. You can never speak of this. And above all, you mustn't tell my mother. Will you do that for me? Yes, I promise. I also wrote down, Snow, can you keep a secret? No, she fucking can't.
Nope. Like I said, though, that's when I wrote down that we see where the manipulation skills come from with how well Cora manipulates little Snow.
And she almost doesn't necessarily mean to. I feel like, she's not manipulating her into, telling her something she already knows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she understands that there's something that Regina is holding back on, but I don't think she fully understands, or she doesn't fully know what it is. And that's also something contentious amongst the fandom, is whether Cora knew about, well, Cora definitely knew about Daniel. She knew that was a thing. I don't think she fully realized, or she knew yet, that they were planning to run away. But because like Cora's got eyes and ears everywhere. She's good at that. But actually, funny enough, the scene with Regina, with the scene with Cora and Snow, that first bit where we see Snow reaching for the orchid petal, that's the screenshot that I said was an illustration in the book in the last episode.
My whole life is a lie. I don't know what's happening.
I told you.
What? I'm mad at myself. I don't notice these things.
It's okay. You're watching the show for the first time. I obviously am not.
That is very true.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't have a count for how many times I've watched this episode specifically, because it's one with commentary. So I would watch it one right after the other. I would always watch it twice in a row.
Oh wow.
And sometimes I would just watch it. Because it is a new experience. Like, it's like to watch the episode with just watching the episode, and then you get to hear it with Lana's commentary, because a lot of Lana's commentary was on the acting process of it. Eddie and Adam didn't add on so much about the writing, which I would have liked a little bit more of, but a lot of the commentary is just Lana talking about the acting process, about working with Barbara, with Bailee, with Ginny. She has nothing but wonderful things to say about everybody, but it's just kind of cool to kind of hear that aspect of it. Like, kind of like I said with Skin Deep, it was really cool to get kind of everything they took out of the episode, because we got that from Jen Espenson. So it's interesting what every different commentary person just kind of brings to the table.
I just can't wait to be able to listen to the commentary myself.
Yeah, at this point, I'm standing firm, and once you're done with the show, then I would say go do it, because this one actually, and I don't remember it doing this, but it also had the spoiler alert thing on it before you click yes. Because there absolutely is a spoiler that you cannot watch.
That's fair.
Because I think they say who August is in the commentary.
What do you mean who August is?
He's connected somehow. Everyone's connected somehow.
What?
No one is. This
but
is like
he's
no
an
one is
outsider.
Random.
I'm so confused.
Is he though?
Oh my god. The show, man.
This show. Well, listen, with the Paley Fest thing, like they made a joke about who August could be, and what they said was, at the time, they'd seen a lot of theories about who August could be in the world of Once Upon a Time. Someone had it right. So someone by episode 14 actually had figured it out.
What?
I don't understand how anyone could put that together. I mean, I guess unless you're just guessing. But
sorry, I'm racking my brain. Nope.
No, it won't make sense. Similar to who Henry's father is, like, if you were to figure it out before all the pieces kind of come together, it would raise more questions. Or if I were just to tell you, it would raise more questions than answers. So, like, It's not worth telling you. I want you to figure it out. Not because I'm vindictive.
So many questions and no
I know.
answers for years.
No, none. Well,
Because
okay, August is not years. August is episodes. August is weeks.
Henry's father is years, right?
Mm, if you put the pieces together by episode 6 of season 2, I will confirm. If
Oh.
you put the pieces together by then, I
Do
will
they give me
confirm.
enough hints?
I think so. I think there were enough hints by then.
Okay. Because when do they actually tell us?
Episode it's
You can just
Manhattan.
say
That's
season if it helps.
214 Manhattan.
So I do find out a lot more information in season 2.
Yeah, season 2 opens up a
Okay.
lot about Henry's father, about
Because I'm
all
sitting
that.
here, I'm like, if I gotta wait till season 4 to
No,
figure out all this stuff, I'm gonna be mad.
no. Season 4 is its own world.
I'd start binging secretly and really hone my acting skills if that was the case. Just saying, because I need to know the answers to questions. I am usually a binger, so this has been very interesting for me.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm doing it with like everything. I don't watch things in one sitting anymore. And I think you've converted me, and I don't know what to do.
I I mean, I don't like not binging this either because I haven't not binged it in a very long time. I stand by for a first time viewer, spread out is I think helps things make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was I said this on the TikTok a couple times. I'm like, it's not a show that was designed to be binged. Which, to be fair, it literally wasn't. It was designed for the appointment viewing type of watching. Um, but when you binge it, the inconsistencies come out even faster because you realize, like, oh, that only happened over the course of like 2 days. Like,
Yeah.
how does that make sense? So,
When you put actual time between episodes, it feels different.
yeah. Like I did the math one time of like a couple episodes in season 4. I'm like, these aired over the course of 6 weeks, but if I really do the math here, that is maybe 3 days.
My God.
Well, the 3A arc, I think the first part of it, I believe they confirm was only a week, but it's 10, 11 episodes.
My goodness.
But that one time moved weirdly in that one, but I'm not going to say too much about that. So you will appreciate this. So the scene where this is a half a note, a half a commentary note. The scene where they go to match the shovel shard with something in
Mm-hmm.
Regina's garage. Regina checked on her sleeping child before she went to go take a shower. Like,
Yes.
very, very mother thing to do. And they do comment on the commentary, like, Regina is always his mother, full stop. Like, thank you, even though you don't write that in your show sometimes, but thank you. So the scene where she has the shovel, they're matching the shovel shard. In the commentary, she matches it, and then we hear Lana go, "We got her," like a second before Emma says, "We got her." And
Mm-hmm.
then there's a pause in the commentary, and then I'm assuming she looks to the guys and she just goes, "No, I don't know everyone's lines."
This is why we love her.
That's why we love her. But like, no, Lana, kindred spirits. Like, you may not. I mean, she may not know everyone's lines. Sadly, I do.
Is that really a sadly?
It's entertaining.
It's extremely entertaining.
It's entertaining. I think before I managed to move it in fairly organically. I will say into the conversation. I didn't. I just went right into it.
I mean,
But
that's fair.
uh, it is the definition of a semi-useless skill. That and my ability to rattle off the episode titles, I think, is kind of a semi-useless skill. It's entertaining, but it's semi-useless.
I'm getting better at that with
It's,
me. I'm able to now do Bob's Burgers at least what season
mhm,
something
yeah.
is in now that we're doing this. Um because now my daughter will just look at me and be like, what is this one from? And I'm just like, hold on, I know this. And I've got it right a few times.
Yeah. I never not laugh at Snow going that, Cora would do anything for her happiness. Like, no, she literally wouldn't. It's not Regina's life, it's Cora's. Because that's literally
Yeah.
the line. It's not your life, it's mine.
Cora's
Um,
not doing it for Regina.
no, she's not. She's doing it for a multitude of other reasons. None of them. I mean, she does firmly believe at this point. She does believe that this is, the this is the best for Regina. Is
Mm-hmm.
one's trajectory should be moving up. That's what she's held on to. So I don't discount that, but it's just there's other comments that I will make when I get into my commentary notes, because Lana comments a lot on how Barbara played a lot of things. But I do love, so since we're talking about the scene, the infamous scene, or R.I.P. Daniel, I like that they added Cora's magic when she puts her hand up.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently Barbara said, like, she felt that, she could just put her hand up and that's enough, which I don't disagree that just her presence alone, she could just put her hand up and that'd be enough to stop Regina in her tracks. But I do think it's visually a little more interesting to have the magic just kind of there as like a
It's
vague,
little scarier. A little scarier.
little vague threat. But I wrote down "Mommy Cora, no," with the heart ripping in all caps.
It's the mommy no. I'm just.
Mommy, no, I love him.
Oh no.
All
right.
We've established I have problems. I was texting you before about Elizabeth Mitchell, so
yeah, you did. You definitely
it's
did.
Fine. It's fine. I don't have a problem.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. But I really do. I think Cora, for as demonic and manipulative and upsetting by her actions that she is so compelling to watch. And Barbara Hershey, I think, does truthfully a phenomenal job with this character in general, because she gets such the intricacies and she gets such the subtleties. And I did I love her love. We see where Regina gets her concept of love is weakness. Her line as she's standing over Regina and Daniel, love is weakness, Regina. It's, it feels real now. At the start, it always does, but it's an illusion. It fades. But power, true power, endures. And then you don't have to rely on anyone to get what you want. And it's the "I saved you, my love" at the very end when she says this, and then she's like, I've endured this long enough. Like she's being like soft for a moment, and then Regina's still upset. And she's just like, what? Okay, never mind, we're done with this. Then she just picks her up. She's like, I've endured this long enough. Like, clean yourself up, wipe away your tears, because now you're going to be queen. And she just so subtly lifts Regina's chin when she does this, and it's just, again, we don't condone the actions, but it is so compelling to watch.
Well, it makes her, Regina and her father's relationship make more sense too. Because when it's like, oh, you have to kill the one thing that you sacrifice the one thing that you truly love most, of course it's going to be her father at that point, because look at the mom.
I said a while back, he really does try to support Regina when Cora is tearing her down. He doesn't always succeed, but he does always try. And I told you, his line of someone just told him yes, hello, get out, Henry, was Cora walking into a room. He's very surprised. He's like, Cora, how? Yes, hello, get out, Henry. He just walks away, which is just very indicative of their relationship for the most part.
Yeah.
The scene with Regina and Snow when it all comes together. And Snow says, what happened. I love the scene with Regina and Snow when she realizes what happened, but I also love that they edited it so we barely see Regina blink, because it makes it even creepier.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's something you do see her blink maybe twice, but it's just the way they edited it. That's how it happened. But even more so, as she's talking, she deepens her voice to kind of almost what we hear as the Queen Regina voice, like from Fruit of the Poisonous Tree. So it's not quite the evil queen voice. It's not quite the young Regina voice. But when she talks to Cora, she switches back into that young Regina voice when she starts talking to her. And then we have that very epic, I should have let her die on that horse. Enter the cello section, as I wrote it in my notes.
Enter the cello section.
Because it was this is something my friend that's only seen a few episodes of Once Upon a Time, she's seen the pilot, and her first comment was when, after Regina goes, sorry, I'm late, and she starts walking down the aisle, she went, wow, the evil queen really rocks the cello section.
I like that.
That is my friend in a nutshell.
Your friend sounds like awesome.
I love her. But as my last note from my first run, believe it or not, we're only through my first run of notes. I'll go through the commentary notes a little faster, otherwise this episode will be an hour and a half long. This is a very, very subtle detail. When Ruby comes around the edge of Granny's to, when they hear the screaming, Ruby's wearing less makeup than she used to.
Why?
Because that's kind of, Ruby with the high makeup, everything, that was very much the curse persona.
Oh.
And basically after her reconciliation with Granny, the makeup's a lot lighter. I think she took the red extensions out of her hair, and she's like not dressing as skimpy as she used to.
That's interesting. I like that.
I think it's a good, way of showing that like things, like again, things are changing is what we always say. But it's a very small detail, but it's always nice to see it. So I do have one more fun fact, and then I'll get into my commentary notes, and then the episode will be however long it is. This episode's a lot of me talking at you, and I do apologize for that.
No apologies.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not used to being called ma'am.
Do you prefer something else?
I don't know.
I did look at the international titles, just because there weren't a whole lot. I wanted fun facts that weren't just the things that came out of the commentaries. I did try to find a few things, other than the flashbacks being part of the second episode. Most of the fun facts from the wiki weren't anything that I didn't already have listed. But the international titles for this one were mostly some variation of stable boy, stable hand, something like that. French and German, again, are the odd ones out. I guess it just works better for their lexicon. I don't know. French is just Daniel.
Okay.
Out of context, that makes even less sense than the stable boy.
Right.
German, though, it translates to the butterfly effect, which is interesting.
It is.
Because, I mean, the butterfly effect is, is the, you change one thing and everything else, follows and follows in suit. Or everything, is interconnected, like the butterfly effect of how 9/11 is why we have 50 Shades of Grey.
That's not, nope. Mm-mm.
That's one of my favorite things ever. Just look it up. For anyone that doesn't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
Yeah, it's a ride. That one's definitely an interesting one.
I love it. But this one is, this is what set us off on the path of, Snow told a secret, and therefore everyone got cursed.
Yeah, a 10-year-old child.
A 10-year-old child, and then that's what happened. So one thing I didn't say before, though, that now we're going in my commentary notes, the scene at the very beginning, the storybook scene between Regina and Rumpel, as I've now dumped them Pinky in the brain. You can't tell me that's not accurate.
I'm not denying it. It's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a time card on that one that says 1 week ago, and what he mentions is, he's got these assault and battery charges that he wants to go away, and he'll do something to help her. So that means that between the events of Skin Deep and basically the Stable Boy is 1 week. So that's that's 13, 14, 15. So that's 5 episodes has been a week.
My God.
Roughly.
What is this town?
A lot happened. But in the scene, when he throws the apple at her, or not at her, but he tosses it and she catches it. That was her idea, apparently. Like, I guess picking up the apple was in the blocking already, and she's like, oh, you can just toss it to me, that's fine. And he's a very professional actor, he's very cautious, he doesn't want to hurt anybody, so he was a little nervous. But they did it, and he was surprised because she caught it without blinking. He's like, you're not blinking, like, how are you doing that? Her father is a professional baseball player, or was a professional baseball player.
Who's her father?
This is why I was texting you the other day, I was looking up baseball things. Her father is Sam Perea. He was a left fielder on the Phillies in 1970.
Oh, Phillies.
Yeah. So this is why I was looking up baseball things, because I knew a little bit about him, but I wanted to make sure I had all the context. Because I knew he was killed when she was young. I knew that. He was killed in 1994, so Lana was just 16 years old when he was killed.
I was a baby.
I was not born yet. I was born 1 year later. So he was in a car accident somewhere in Brooklyn, I'm assuming. And he had met the other people the next day or something like that, or 3 days later, according to the article that I have, with the agreed upon money for damages. And there was an altercation, and the other person shot him.
My God.
And he died at the hospital not much later, the same day. But her father was a professional baseball player, so hand-eye coordination is one of her things.
Yeah.
She's very good with that.
Yeah, because I remember you text me baseball things, and I'm like, what are you doing? What does this episode have to do with baseball? Because I hadn't watched it yet.
To be fair, nothing.
Nothing.
To be fair. But this will make it a little more lighthearted. So Regina's horse
Mm-hmm.
So the character, the character of the horse, he's named Rocinante, which is the name
Oh.
of Don Quixote's horse from Don Quixote. That's the reference. We'll hear his name, I think, in 202. But the horse that plays Rocinante, his name is Jerry.
Jerry the horse.
Jerry the horse.
I like it.
And it's always Jerry the horse, to my understanding, because there's a blooper from season 7 that it's Lana and a horse, and she's like, the horse like is like dipping his head for some reason, and it's just her holding up, going like, "No, Jerry, hold your head up. You're the star of the show." So they keep bringing back Jerry.
I can't wait to watch bloopers one day.
I mean, I've watched the bloopers so many times. They're all on YouTube.
I gotta wait till I'm done with season 1 before I watch season
Yeah.
1 bloopers.
I would do that.
I'm gonna be like, what's happening?
There's so much going on. I'm trying to think. There are some. Yeah, no. Oh, one of my favorite bloopers. So much so that I put it into the bad impression voiceover. I did a redo of one from 121. I ended it with the blooper
Oh, goodness.
because it was funnier that way.
I could see that.
Yeah. One thing I do really love, I wrote this down. I love that Lana talks about how Regina bites her tongue in the first altercation in the cell. With Mary Margaret, and she said, I love that Lana talks about how Regina bites her tongue as if she's not the one doing the action. Like, she talks about like Regina doing this, Regina saying this, or like these choices that she made as an actor, but she's talking about it in third person, and I feel like that's a necessary separation she has to have, especially when watching her own performance.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is it's fun to listen to her talk about it that way. But, I mean, my thing of Bailee Madison being Ginny in a time machine, they all, in the commentary, was like, did someone just shrink her and put her in the Fountain of Youth? Like, that's what she is. It is. And, like, Lana said, like, like, seeing this relationship where it starts, like, for 18 episodes, they've watched the relationship be so tragic and so broken. And to see it start from such a good place made it almost upsetting, because when the episode aired, I guess they did a watch party. Lana and Ginny were watching together, kind of sitting on the couch, and like they just were crying through like the first scene, because like it's just, to see it start from such a good place is so heartbreaking. But then Ginny kind of, I guess, brought the humor back in with going like, "Wow, I was really great in that scene, in a scene with Bailee Madison," as if it were her, because it's
Ginnifer Goodwin.
It might as well have been her, honestly. This is something actually I did want to bring up as a talking point, and then I might do some funny ones, and I think we're about to have to end this episode because it's going to be long.
We're about to do a part 2.
Something that Adam said about this episode is that everyone's intentions are good here. Regina is, she's, giving Snow the gift of like, learning what true love is. Snow really does just not want Regina to lose her mother, because she's lost her mother. She understands that pain and all that, and she doesn't want Cora to lose her daughter in that sense. And everyone is doing what they think is best for the situation. And Regina understands, like, especially with Cora accepting like the proposal and all that, she understands it to an extent. But this is where I kind of get the thing of Regina lashing out at a child. It's a very clear case of cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's no matter what you're seeing, your brain just will not let you understand what the truth here is. Because from an outside perspective, yes, the logical thing after after her mother kills her boyfriend is, we're going to be mad at our mother right now because she killed my boyfriend. She killed my boyfriend. But what her brain does is, no, my mother would never do anything to hurt me. No, she wants what's best for me. This Snow betrayed me, and this happened. It's Snow's fault.
Because she's accepted that her mother is not a good person. What her mother did was completely normal for what her mother would do.
Exactly. She's understood that, like, Cora's just doing what she thinks is best for me. That makes sense. So she can be very easily persuaded to all of this, which to Cora's way of thinking. She does eventually stand up for herself, and we love her for it. But it's a very clear case of cognitive dissonance. Because again, back to my original point, is she's 18 years old, maybe 19. The character.
Who makes good decisions at 18?
Literally no one.
And yet they give us student loans and tell us to go to college.
Right. Okay, so I think I'm going to do one more note. We can do stats, and then I will do a final thing about Bailee Madison, and I think that should be the end of the episode.
That is perfectly fine, because I like Bailee Madison.
This is going to be so long.
Good luck with that.
Okay, no, wait. I have 2 things and then stats. 2 things.
Okay.
My thing with Cora and Regina's relationship. It's such a contentious thing, and you'll see more context about this as the show goes on. about whether Cora really loves Regina or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can wonder, is she just a pawn in all of this? Does Cora really just want, to lift up their status and all that? I mean, she named her Regina for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all names have meaning. But Lana said this is something that she met up with Barbara before this, like the weekend before they started shooting, and she told her, I made a choice that every time you touch me, I can just break down into tears. Like every time you touch my arm or you hug me, I can just break down in tears. I love you that much. So, like, I'm always on the stance of Cora loves her to as much as she can. There
Mm-hmm.
may be something blocking that, whether it's, physical or whatever. There may be something blocking how much she can truthfully love her, but I always do think that she does, even though she does reprehensible things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where you stand on that.
I don't know yet.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of thing of like from where we're at right now, it almost seems like she doesn't.
Yeah, right now it doesn't seem like she does, but I have a feeling more will come out about her.
Yeah. There is more Cora afoot, I can promise you. Not in this season, but she's very heavily featured in season 2.
Okay.
Which I was very happy to see that because she really was. I think again, because this is my first live episode, is why she was so quickly one of my favorite parts of the show. Because she's just so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
But this might actually be my favorite scene of the entire episode. Because I always forget what happens in the Storybrooke arc, except for this one scene. And it's I'm like the Storybrooke arc doesn't matter, but I know this scene exists. It's the scene with Lana and Ginny, Regina, and Mary Margaret in the cell at the end when she has her "I won" moment, and she's just like lording it over her.
Mm-hmm.
And she just walks in, just like having a bad day. What are you doing here? I wanted to see you while I can. What does that mean? Simply that the trial starts tomorrow, and it won't be a long one, and you'll be sent out of Storybrooke for good, and I will never have to see you again. Oh, I want to enjoy this while I still can. Enjoy what? Justice. Justice? Watching an innocent suffer? You've always seen yourself that way, haven't you? Innocent. I am innocent! I don't know what this is about. I don't know what I ever did to you, but whatever it was, Regina, I'm sorry. I truly am. Apology not accepted. Please don't do this to me. I don't deserve this. I did not kill Catherine. Oh, I know. But you do deserve this. Like she's so demonic in that scene. She's so good. And even when in the commentary, Lana laughed when she said apology not accepted. She's like she doesn't care. But what I've said before about Lana doing unscripted physical actions.
Mm-hmm.
Her touching her face when she goes, "Oh, I know, but you do deserve this." That was not in the script. Lana added
Oh.
that. Because she said she remembers that they shot it right after she had worked with Bailee, so a part of her kind of missed touching her and missed being loving and kind towards her.
Mm-hmm.
And, she wanted to calm her down to, help her stop crying as she's about to tell her she's going to die, basically. But she said that filming that scene was really hard for her because, Ginny is a phenomenal actor who can cry on cue at the drop of a hat. And, it's hard to kind of be serious and be straight and be evil when you have Ginnifer Goodwin crying in your face.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can see that as well. So that as upsetting that between that and the scene honestly where Daniel dies, because
Mm-hmm.
again it's a mildly depressing answer. It's just so compelling to watch, and it's so much. It's the culmination of everything. I think those two might be my favorite scenes of the entire episode, honestly.
I think the one with Ginnifer Goodwin was my favorite out of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because it also gave so much information.
It gives us a lot.
It gives us a lot.
So what did you rate this episode?
So I gave plot a 9.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. I was I got annoyed with the shovel more than anything. I was like, you should have known she'd move the shovel.
Like Emma Swan, act for 3 seconds that you don't know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because she walks like right up to it.
Exactly. Character I gave 10. Character deserved 10 on this, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Personal I gave 9, so this is a 28.
Okay.
You did not overhype it.
Okay, I'm glad.
I just, once again, have to wait.
You have to wait for a lot of information.
I have to wait for so much information, and I'm like, give it to me. And I know it's all in your brain. So I'm sitting here I have to wait, and all of this is in one of my closest friends' brains, and I can't get it out of her.
No, you can't. You've built a mechanism. You've built the mechanism of your own destruction in that you want to know all the things. You will ask me all the things, and I will
Uh-huh.
likely never tell you the things.
Look, just keep sending me books and we're good.
That's how I keep you at bay. It's like, don't ask me once upon a time questions. Here's sapphic romance. Here's something to distract you. What's funny? What's really funny? I stand by this, even though it's been confirmed that it's not this. Mistakes Were Made really does read like a Swan Queen fanfiction. It it has been confirmed. Meryl Wilsner does not know anything. As far as I can know from an article that I read, they did not do that on purpose. I don't think they've ever seen Once Upon a Time. But like,
I see it though, because I've read that one.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Never thought of it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
So this should surprise no one. I gave this a 30. This is a 10 for character. I know, right? This one has a 10 for character, a 10 for plot, and a 10 for personal. This is my favorite episode of the season. I mean, I have another 30 in here, obviously, but I think this is my favorite of the season, if not the entire series. I have a very strong affinity for it because it was my very first live episode, which is just phenomenal timing, honestly. And like I would say, like especially with like more 30s that I'm gonna give, and there's one episode that like is very close to being my favorite episode, but for two very different reasons. Because like this one, because like almost like I say, like like for books, like 5 stars, like I'll give books 5 stars, but for vastly different reasons. I'm not giving like Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. I'm not giving that a 5 star for the same reason that I'm giving Cruel Seduction by Katie Robert a 5 star. They're two very different books.
Those are two very, very different books.
So like it's all subjective. Like they're favorites for different reasons. Like this one is my favorite because so much happens in here. It's introductions of some of my favorite characters.
And it's a lot of Lana.
It's a lot of Lana, which we love. This woman acts her ass off in this episode. But like, no, the other one that I would say is very closely tied, and actually in my old stats rewatch, it almost got a perfect score because I was marking things down for continuity, and continuity and pacing. It lost like 2 continuity points. I'm like, there's no way this is going to mess anything up, and I'm like, no, I can't let this go. It got a 24.8 out of 25.
Oh wow!
Because it had things in it that I had marked down other episodes for, so I had to mark it down.
That says a lot.
It does. That one was so close to a perfect score. Like that one was like so close to the Stable Boy in score, but like because that one is pure fucking chaos.
Well, it's okay. You get lots of chaos in the next like 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm so excited! Yeah, if anyone listens to our both episodes, if you're listening to this on launch day, sorry, you have to wait till Wednesday. But listen to episode 36, where Lauren will scream about other things for different reasons.
I'm so ready. It's gonna be so good.
As we've been saying the entire time, Bailee Madison is Ginnifer Goodwin in a time machine. I refuse to believe anything else. She studied Ginny, like for her preparation for this. She studied this woman. She was able to get footage of other episodes. I'm guessing she must have taped things or gotten stuff from production, because she said like on her computer she had clips, she had screenshots to kind of get like her mannerisms and her facial expressions. She's like I probably look like a stalker if people look at my computer right now, because it's just got a folder that just says Ginnifer Goodwin on it, and it's like zooming in on like her face. So she really tried her best to not because it's not enough to just like say the lines or to sound like her, but you have to really embody the person.
You have to be the same person.
You really do. You have to really make us believe that this is the same person in a time machine. Apparently, a lot of her friends, when watching the episode, Ginny's friends would say to her, "Oh, that's a Ginnyism. Oh, that's a Ginnyism." So like people really did like. She's like, "Yeah, I buy it. That's you. I don't care what the credits say. That's basically you." So, which is just, she did a very good job. The one thing about her that was different, that could not be helped or not without help, is her eye color. Is she's got brown eyes and Ginny has hazel green eyes. And so they had her wear these contacts. So the one time that she actually got to meet Ginny was, because they don't have scenes together, was in order to decide between two of them, they put the 2 options in Bailee's eyes, and they basically brought her to set. And between between setups or whatever, they pulled Ginny aside and basically just kind of held their faces together to see what made the most sense.
Oh my goodness.
Which I think is cute. And like, no, Ginny just like, it's like, oh, look at you, you're so beautiful. Like, she was just so warm and loving towards this kid. But before they were filming, when she needed to have the contacts in, apparently Lana said, That in the makeup trailer, like, because she was just gushing about Bailee the entire time, like this professional child of 11 years old doing far more work than any of us. She asked like the makeup trailer, a person in the makeup trailer, like, "Oh, can I have those contacts in, please? I want to get used to them." Like, she didn't want them to be distracting to her when she had to wear them, so she just wanted to have them in. They were good to go. She'd get used to
I
them, and
love
she wouldn't have
her.
to worry. She's like such a consummate professional. This child, like, and I
How?
say this child, she is 24 now. Like, she's a full-grown adult.
Okay, she was a child during this, and now I need to go see what she's done as an adult because I'm
Yeah.
very excited to see what she has done. Because I've only seen her stuff as a kid, I think. Although I don't know if I can get myself to watch anything about Pretty Little Liars.
No, I think the oldest I've probably seen her is probably the Fosters would be my guess, which is funny. Because in the RP community, I mean, she's Young Snow, so people would still use her for Young Snow. But I used to use I think Maya Mitchell is the one who played Callie on the Fosters.
I don't know.
I think that's the name of the actor. If I'm incorrect, it's the one who played Callie. If I'm incorrect, I would use her as the face claim for Teenage Regina and other RP things, which is just even funnier that they were on the same show.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Bob's Burgers Season 3, Episode 11, Nude Beach, and Episode 12, Broadcast Wagstaff School News. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. And follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok.
This has been an episode of Okay, but Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Lauren and Katie and edited by Lauren.